ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have both been able to make their mark on the Bills' drafting situation since their arrival in Buffalo in 2017. In today's video, I will be breaking down each of those draft picks. And quick disclaimer, I will be including the Bills' 2017 draft picks mainly because they were drafted by Sean McDermott, not Doug Whaley. Anyways, let's move on with the video. Okay, so tied for 37th, aka last place, are every single player that has never played for the Bills in a regular season game despite being drafted by the Bills. This list includes Austin Proehl, Vosean Joseph, Jake Fromm, Isaiah Hodgins, Rachad Wildgoose, and Jack Anderson. All of these players have never played in a regular season game for the Bills. The only one still within the Bills organization as of the time of this recording is wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins, who has been hampered by injuries throughout his first 2 years in the NFL. He's shown some promise with the practice squad, but not enough for him to be named to the active roster. So for now, he will remain in this group. 31, Nathan Peterman. He threw 3 touchdowns and 12 interceptions during his 2 seasons here in Buffalo. He had a QBR of 34. Do I really need to say any more? Number 30, Ray McCloud. He was mainly used as a punt returner during his 2 seasons with the Bills. He wasn't very impactful and didn't have any explosiveness, and his failure led to the Bills getting Andre Roberts. Number 29, Tanner Vallejo. This linebacker was with the Bills during the 2017 season, aka his rookie season, and was mainly used as a linebacker depth piece. Number 28, Damar Hamlin. This safety out of Pitt has mainly found himself being scratched during his 2021 rookie season. He hasn't been able to get on the field, and when he does, he doesn't have much of a mark. Number 27, Zay Jones. This wide receiver from East Carolina was taken in the second round by the Bills, and boy was he a bust. A lack of speed and a lack of separation and a lack of character led to him being cut by the Bills not long after his drafting. Number 26, Darryl Johnson. This physical defensive end was taken in the 7th round by the Bills back in 2019, and while he brought some energy to the table, he could never really get things going on a consistent basis. Number 25, Wyatt Teller. He was taken in the 5th round of the 2018 draft, and while this future Pro Bowler is heralded as one of the best offensive linemen in the game right now, he didn't really play like that when he was with the Bills back in 2018. He was okay, but not great, eventually traded for some mid-round picks. 24, Tommy Doyle. He was drafted in the 3rd round and labeled a project offensive lineman, much in the same way Josh Allen is also considered a project quarterback. He was okay in his 2021 season. He showed flashes here and there, but really needs to be more consistent for the Bills to start him week in and week out. Number 23, Marquez Stevenson. This 6th round pick was drafted as the replacement for Andre Roberts, who walked away in free agency. He's shown flashes in his limited playing time with the Bills so far this season, but he needs to show me more before I can move him up on this list. Number 22, Tommy Sweeney. This blocking tight end has served as the backup behind Dawson Knox during his time in Buffalo. He's been consistent in that role and has brought some good energy to the locker room. Number 21, Cody Ford. He was taken in the 2nd round during the 2019 draft, and he's been very disappointing so far in his career. He has seen himself fall down the depth chart after a poor 2021 season, after a lackluster 2020 season too. He's been very inconsistent, taken bad penalties, and just been totally confused at times while on the field. He'll need to show some more going into the final stretch of this 2021 season. Number 20, Jaquan Johnson. He was taken in the 6th round of the 2019 draft. He has been a core special teamer for Sean McDermott since his drafting in 2019. He is best remembered for catching a pass from Siran Neal on a fake punt during the Bills' blowout victory over the Patriots late in the 2020 season. Number 19, Siran Neal. Much like Johnson, Siran Neal has been a core special teamer for the Bills. Number 18, Zack Moss. This running back taken from Utah has seen his stock rapidly fall during the 2021 season. If he were to be ranked before the season, it would probably be around the 13 to 15 range. Now, he's falling fast after a series of healthy scratches late in this season. He's been ineffective at running back, and his physicality has not come to save him. Number 17, Boogie Basham. This 2nd round pick had a disappointing start to his rookie season, but has really been able to pick things up as the season continues on. He's shown his explosive abilities and good pressuring abilities. However, that has not translated into sacks. This is a common thing that we'll keep seeing with some of Beane's defensive line draft picks. Number 16, Harrison Phillips. He was taken in the third round of the 2018 draft, and he's been very good as the run-stopping defensive tackle for the Bills. Him and Star Lotulelei have both been very consistent in that role and have created penetration along the middle of opposing teams' offensive lines, which is a good thing. Number 15, Devin Singletary. This running back taken in the third round of the 2019 draft has had an interesting career trajectory up to this point. His rookie season was phenomenal, followed up by a very disappointing sophomore slump, and now we're in a third year where he's been okay, I guess. He's certainly rebounded from his second season, but he's still not as explosive as Bills fans would have hoped. However, this could be accredited to a lack of rhythm and a poor play calling from Brian Daboll. Number 14, Dane Jackson. I will give Beane a ton of credit for finding Jackson in the 7th round, and then I'll give even more credit for Jackson for being able to stick around and flourish as now the Bills CB3 really. Number 13, A.J. Epenesa. This defensive end from Iowa was taken in the second round of the 2020 draft and has been okay to start his NFL career so far. He hasn't been able to get the sack numbers that he definitely wants, but he's been able to set up sacks for others. And much like the rest of the defensive line, he's been able to put on really good pressure. Number 12, Spencer Brown. This third round pick taken from the 21 draft has stepped in and as a rookie become a great presence along the Bills offensive line and become a consistent starter for them, outside of a bad performance from Week 15 against the Panthers, and Brown has been otherwise very good for an otherwise poor Bills offensive line. Number 11, Greg Rousseau. This first-round pick taken in the 2021 draft has come in and become a positive for an old and slowing down Bills defensive line. He's added some great speed out on the edge and looks to be a worthy replacement of Jerry Hughes. Rousseau's pressuring rate is among the best, and his chemistry with Boogie Basham has been fun to watch. But much like Basham and Epenesa, he does need to finish off plays better and more often. Number 10, Ed Oliver. He came into this third NFL season knowing that this was a make-or-break year for him, and he is certainly breaking out for the Bills right now as we speak in front of our eyes. He has been awesome in the middle of the Bills' defensive line, generating consistent penetration and able to not only stop the run in the backfield, but to also sack opposing quarterbacks right in their tracks. Number 9, Dawson Knox. He was taken in the third round of the 2019 draft. He has been excellent in his third year with the Bills, flourishing actually. He's got 8 reception touchdowns, a career high in yards and catches, and has become the Bills' bona fide number 1 tight end. He's been excellent so far this year, and hopefully he keeps this growth going. Number 8, Gabe Davis. He was taken in the 4th round of the 2020 draft and has been the vertical threat that the Bills have really wanted. He has been able to take the tops off defenses many times, and while that may be considered one-dimensional, it works in a Daboll-designed offense. Number 7, Tyler Bass. He was taken in the 5th round of 2020 draft and has become the Bills' franchise kicker. With his big leg and his booming personality, Bass has been able to thrive in Buffalo and become a very consistent player for the Bills. Surprisingly enough, a kicker is one of the Bills' best players on their roster. Number 6, Taron Johnson, 4th round pick from 2018. Other than what he's generally known for, aka that pick 6 against Lamar Jackson in the divisional round of the 2020 playoffs, he's been very solid and consistent for the Bills. In that slot cornerback, that nickel cornerback role even for the Bills, he's been very good and very sturdy for an otherwise awesome Bills secondary. Opening up our top 5 is Tremaine Edmunds, who serves as the Bills' middle linebacker and basically the quarterback of the defense. He has been, I would say, pretty good. I think he's a little too hated on by Bills fans, and while he's loved by the national media because of how young he is and how athletic he is, he's not all that consistent for the Bills. If there's one knock against him that is preventing him from being a top 3 pick all time by Brandon Beane, it's his consistency. But he still has a lot of room to grow, and he's already doing all of this at the age of 22 and 23, so that's really good if you ask me. He's still on that rookie contract and will be looking to get extended very soon, so we'll be having to watch out for that. Number 4, Dion Dawkins. This second-round pick from the 2017 draft was, of course, drafted by Sean McDermott, not Brandon Beane, but I still consider him a part of this video because it was McDermott. McDermott saw the potential in this guy and saw him as a potential cornerstone on the Bills' offensive line, and that is exactly what he's become for the Bills. That left tackle position is now shored up for many, many years on because of Dion Dawkins' elite play so far in his career. He's been very consistent and doesn't take many penalties that often. Besides this season, of course, this has been a regression for him, this 2021 season, I may clarify. And he's not been totally awesome this year, but he's still one of the better offensive linemen in the league and one of the best picks by Brandon Beane. Number 3 is Milano, who was taken in the second round of the 2017 NFL Draft. Now, Milano, he was not given the highest expectations coming out of college, but boy, has he seen those expectations and just exploded them. He put them on a pile of TNT and just went kaboom. Milano is now the Bills' best linebacker in my opinion. He's better than Tremaine Edmunds. He's better than anybody else on the roster, and that is because of his sheer athleticism. He is another mid-round pick that was amazing from Sean McDermott. By God, was that 2017 draft exceptional for the Bills. Milano adds as another cornerstone player of this franchise. He has been excellent in his career up to this point. He got a very healthy extension this past offseason, which will keep him in Buffalo for the next couple of years. So good work by Brandon Beane. Good initial work by Sean McDermott, though. Number 2, Tre'Davious White. White has been amazing for the Bills since being taken in the first round of the 2017 NFL Draft. He has been phenomenal. He's been an All-Pro, a Pro Bowler, and he has allowed Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde to do their thing in the middle of the field. Opposing quarterbacks don't dare throw on Tre'Day anymore because they know that either they'll be intercepted, the pass will go down for an incompletion, or he will just make the wide receiver look silly and still incomplete it. And it's really remarkable to see his rise from the LSU days, and I never really had these sort of expectations when watching his tape from LSU, but in Buffalo, boy, has he become one of the best defensive players in the league. This was a superb drafting by Sean McDermott. Good job, Sean. Good job, Brandon Beane, to extend Tre'Davious White, much like Milano. Because both of these guys, especially Tre'Day, has been remarkable for the Bills. Number 1 should come as no surprise to anybody that follows football whatsoever. And my number 1 pick is Josh Allen. First round pick from the 2018 NFL Draft. Now, Allen has been, well, quite simply remarkable for the Bills. His first, well, let's put it 2 years with the Bills were not so good. In the 2018 year, he was very raw, very underdeveloped, and not very good, to be honest. He was mainly a rushing kind of guy, rivaling that, actually, of Lamar Jackson. In 2019, we saw just as much running, but a little more mature play from him. And in 2020, oh boy, here comes the MVP, Josh Allen. He totally broke out, surprised everybody across the NFL landscape, and helped the Bills to a 13-3 record. And now in 2021, he's continued that play despite having no running game, a worse offensive line, and wide receivers that have been shut down and taught how to be defended by opposing defenses. Josh Allen has been able to keep the Bills afloat, and while he kind of has a gunslinger attitude, he's been very mature and very good for the Bills, and he's really become that franchise quarterback that the Bills have so desperately desired, which is huge. Brandon Beane locked him down for the next 6 seasons, so that is also another big plus. Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw my ranking of every single Brandon Beane draft pick. Tell me in the comment section, do you agree? Do you disagree with this ranking? Be civil, please. Don't hurt my feelings. I don't like my feelings to be hurt. Anyways, make sure to hit that like button and to subscribe. We are trying to get the channel to 900 subscribers, so let's get there. And it can only be done through your help. It's free to do, it's easy to do, so why not do it? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Follow the Instagram, join the Discord, and more. See y'all in the next video.